Chapter 33 to 34. Amon looked at the coffin, then looked back at the webcam. Hey, babe, when will you make me the railgun I asked you for? Amon asked as he rested his chin against his right hand. I have already said before that I can't do these things for you until the start of the world change. You also aren't supposed to bring any weapon out of this hall until then, the AI said. Amon sighed, but the next moment, his eyes became red. USL, you're right. Okay, calm down. Control. Amon almost jumped at the screen with his punch, but he was able to control himself. A few moments passed as Amon opened his mouth again. If you won't help me with your technology, then why are you helping me with the wings? Amon asked as he controlled his breathing. Don't you already know? The AI answered with a question. The coffin behind you. He's a king of Shandora who tried to achieve what you are trying for. Though he couldn't achieve 100% success, he was a little satisfied. It's a strange feeling, but I would be happy to see you succeed in what he couldn't. You'd also prove your worth by doing that. Amon gritted his teeth. Prove myself? To who? To you, robot bitch. His hands automatically got clenched, as his breathing started to become uneven. Fool. Amon sighed. His encounter with her from a few months flashed before his eyes. Flashbacks start. Haha, Sarah baby, don't joke around, Amon said nervously, as he looked in front of him with his hands raised in a surrendering position. This is just evil. Why won't you let me access everything? You've already confirmed my identity as a descendant of Shandorians. You even call me Master. Yet, why keep the important things, the main history of the Void Century, hidden from me? Amon asked, frustrated. Not only that, you won't even let me research these high-tech equipment. You are now trying to kill me. Why do you hate me so much? Amon said as he was pinned against a wall with weapons coming from all the walls around him, pointing at all his vitals. Master, even though I call you that, I can't disobey my previous master's orders. I was ordered to not come out and influence the world until the fateful hour. If not, why do you think I never used the supersonic ring bells to call the Shandians before and make them take me out of this? She went silent. The dangers of that war. I don't want to see that again, yet that is an inevitable thing to happen. I also never want to see the Shandorians dying. Or now you people, the Shandians, dying. Yet, I can't disobey my previous orders. A sweat fell from Amon's head. Just now, he went to pick up a magic cloak-looking thingy, with invisible robe written over its glass container. He thought maybe using this, he can sneak in Burka and snatch Gorogoro no Mi, since he isn't confident to win in an all-out war yet. Also since he can't sneak there normally, as it is guarded by people proficient at observation hockey. However, before he could touch the glass container, many weapons came out from all around the floor, wall, and roof, and pinned Amon against this corner. Amon gritted his teeth. Though the fucking AI did say she is mine now, and I'm her master, she doesn't let me touch anything. Only saying shits and using excuses about the fateful hour. She won't even tell me what that time is. Fuck. Amon had theories as to what she meant by fateful hour, and according to that he needs to wait a lot, which he won't tolerate. It's Joy Boy's arrival. It's fucking obvious. More accurately, it's the time when Luffy will start to influence this world. Will I wait till then only to serve under Rubberman? Never. Amon then closed his eyes. Soon, he shook his head with a chuckle as he started to walk through the weapons with his guard down. None of the weapons tried to harm him. Amon stopped midway, under an advanced laser gun. AI girl, I know you won't harm me. Do you think I don't realize how you are using me? I do know. The AI replied. That's why I'm keeping you here with the greed of being able to move your wings. You aren't that different from a Shandorian king I know of. Flashback end. Hashtag, 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 hashtag. Amon again sighed as he looked towards the sheets of papers containing the history. Though this bitch did provide me the history of Shandorians when they were on the moon, in complete details at that, she only gave and narrated me the summary of the Void Century. Amon thought as he felt the AI about to continue her words. My masters from 800 years ago had instructed me to not let things out unless I learn that the world's changing. The cold voice said. Amon then put his legs on the table as he leaned back on the comfy chair. Okay, and unless I came here, how would have you learned that the world is changing outside? Amon recalled how an AI was never introduced in anime. Or is it because he died early? You are stuck inside here, underground with no ways to go out. You accepted your previous dead masters coming here and providing the news to you? Amon said as he slammed the keyboard again, but the keyboard fixed itself. I never expected a Shandya to discover this place anyways. The emotionless robotic voice didn't feel so emotionless for a second, as Amon smirked internally. If you hadn't come, according to my previous calculations, 15 years from now, I would have ringed a large alarm for the inhabitants of this island to hear. After they have found me, I would have naturally learned if the world had changed to an eligible state for me or not. And also there I would have trusted my powers to a chosen Shandya as my master. However, it's 15 years before my calculations. The world most likely hasn't changed yet, so I can't give my powers to you. Not only that, I do realize how much of a dangerous child you are. But don't worry, 15 years later, I will give myself up to you. You are dangerous, but in the end, you are a Shondorian. You are one of the ones I serve. In a sense, you might be the best master that I have had until now. Wait patiently, and you'll get everything. Amon chuckled to himself. She is good at this, using humans' greed against themselves. However, he frowned soon enough. So you are saying I would have to wait 15 years? Is this a joke? If so, that's not funny. Then I would only come back to this hall 15 years later then. I can wait till that time to move my wings. Amon said as he got up from his seat and prepared to leave. Bye, I will now go dash. Wait. Amon stopped in his ways while smirking internally. If you are able to prove that the world has started to change before my prediction, then I will give all the access to you and fully consider you as the new master. After all, I'm an artificial intelligence. I can be very wrong, and my calculations may also be flawed. Amon sighed and again sat on his chair. All right, but how do I prove the world is in a state that you want? You always talk about fateful hour, but you never explain shit. The computer screen started to calculate. Beep. I didn't tell you before since you wouldn't have understood anything anyway. But now that you have the history in your grasp, I will tell you. Amon looked at her camera. 800 years ago, a country named Wano's borders were closed. I won't reveal why. Amon frowned, but the next moment he snickered. After that, a half-Shandorian and half-Wano nationalities girl named Amatsuki Toki was given a job. Accepting it, she used her powers to skip time. Her goal was to open the Wano's borders. When her goal has been completed, it will indicate the change in the world. Amon's eyes almost widened. Odin's wife Toki? She's a Shondorian, but she doesn't have wings, no. That can be explained in many ways. Amon tried his best and suppressed his shock. So you will only let me access everything from you after this Wano's borders opened? Damn, this sounds like a wife who would only let the husband touch her after she gives birth. Slut. The AI didn't mind his words. Actually, no, you don't have to wait until Wano opens. Even though my masters ordered me to only make a move after that happens. But according to my calculations, by then things would be close to the start of another great war. A war that would be history's biggest yet, surpassing the one of 800 years ago. Amon took her words in his mind very seriously. You only have to give me enough proof that Master Toki reached this Wano, and is living there now. Hearing her, Amon was silent. He already knew Toki, Odin's wife, died, so how will he prove? And what if she came here, and is now dead? He asked. Again the screen went calculation mode. Beep. Then you just have to prove that she came here, and lived for at least 5 years, and influenced it enough that it might open soon. Amon finally chucked hearing her. A few minutes passed, as Amon was currently in front of the ancient coffin. He was sitting with the cover opened. Anyway, Sarah baby, did you do what I asked you of? Amon asked as the computer screen behind him started to do calculations. Inside the coffin, there was a mummified body of a male, however. It had big wings. Not only that, the wings weren't as much damaged as the mummified body, though it still made a bad stench. Seeing this, one would expect it as a Birkin's body, as it had large wings, however. Amon found out this was a Shandorian's body after doing a bit of research from its sample and asking Seraph. This is a small treasure he found in the underground, the key to him unlocking his wings. Hashtag, 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 hashtag. Flashback start. Amon was in front of a coffin that Seraph revealed by taking it out of the many underground drawers. Damn, you keep popping things out of the floor. What is it this time? Amok asked as he looked at the coffin while keeping his distance from it. Beep. Please let me summarize things. This body is the body of a king of the Shandora. He is someone who envied the flying birds in the sky. Seeing the birds roam freely in the sky, he felt like a shackled bird with unusable wings. Amon nodded. After he inquired me, I searched through the data and found out that in the moon, a few thousand years ago, there were a few Birkins who were able to fly using their wings, as the king gained hope to one day fly himself. Amon nodded his head. The Seraph did tell him about the flying Bikins. After this, the researchers, scientists, and doctors of Shandora tried their best to find ways to use these wings. After a few years, the king was able to enlarge his wings. In fact, they even moved. However, they were unable to move fast enough for the king to float, let alone fly like the birds. The king got frustrated, yet having larger than norm wings gave him a sense of superiority over the other Shandorians. Like this, he lived a long life and died peacefully. I understand, Amon said. But, do you know what type of medicine he took, or surgery he went through to have this type of wings? Amon wasn't interested in useless history like this. He wanted to learn the crucial thing. The computer again went calculating mode. Beep. Yes, there is a record of this. The king went through a surgery. The next moment, The screen changed as two X-ray of a Shandorian was stationed side by side. The left side is the king before surgery, and the right is him after surgery. Amon inspected the two with his observation hockey at max power as a few minutes passed. Is this what Chopper called biofeedback? Amon asked himself. On the screen, there weren't any changes in the king's body structure other than the enlarged wings. So the thing that caused him to be able to move his wings must have been some medicine. A medicine that let him be able to control his wings freely, but not free enough to fly. While not much information was out on Skypiean, biofeedback was mentioned only once. From the name, Amon could guess it's an effect which lets the user control the subconscious part of one's body, just like Skypiean. But unlike the hermit ways of Skypiean, this might work only after taking some special kinds of medicine, like Chopper's rumble balls. Though in the end, it was just a theory. Amon's theory. So, Sarah baby, tell me, what is the medical formula and the eye formation on his surgery dash? I would tell you after I summarize the history, or you won't understand anything. Hashtag, 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 hashtag. Amon recalled him getting rejected by an AI as he stood up. Hey, Amon stood up. X-ray my body, Amon ordered as the next moment. A light flashed from the roof and got his body scanned. He didn't ask her for this before, because she might have tried to harm him in any way. But after she has shown her selfish wishes, her human side, Amon is trusting her a little more as he knew perfectly she won't harm a useful human pawn. Done. Soon, his body structure came into the computer, as he couldn't find any difference between his body and the king's body before surgery. Glancing at the screen using observation hockey, Amon looked at his own wings on his back. Your body is the same as Dash. Amon was looking at his wings as he used Skypiean, making the wings flinch for a single moment, yet her advanced high FPS motion camera caught it in detail. Thud suddenly, Amon fell on his back while huffing. Ha! Fuck, I'm not gonna do that for the second time. It pressures my crotch area, Amon said while grabbing his crotch. He can use a bit of Skypiean to digest his food faster than the norm, but that's still far behind from using it to fly with his wings. A/N. There are people in our world who can do this type of thing like fast digestion by meditating and stuff. Just letting you know before some of you complain. Smiley face. How did you do that? Oh ha! Amon barely released a chuckle. Are you shocked and interested? Isn't that a surprise? Huh. I thought you said you can't feel emotions. Amon said while sweating profusely. His crotch was hurting badly. The AI didn't answer. A few minutes passed, and Amon was now doing fine, though still laying on his back. He looked at the camera on the ceiling and opened his mouth. Hey Sarah, you told me the history already, so it's time to tell me the medicine and surgery he went through. Won't you, baby girl? The AI didn't answer. Rather, he heard the sound of a part of the metallic floor opening behind him, indicating the revelation of a new technology. As a green light flashed behind him, Amon abruptly looked back as he blinked. It was a glass tube, a bigger than human-sized glass tube. Amon recognized it in a single glance. It was something like those artificial womb things from DBZ. The king passed a month inside this, while his whole body was being fed with special medicines and food. This is a painful process where the king cried every hour and ordered me to free him. Yet since he ordered previously to not listen to his pleas, I didn't do it. In the end, his wings enlarged, and he almost succeeded. And what about the Formu Dash? Yes, I do have the formula for them all. And you are now eligible to know them too. Amon released a burst of laughter. Asterisk. Amon did his research on that formula for a few days, but he couldn't find any flaws in it. Another few days passed, as his training with Gonfall had begun. He has discovered a few flaws, and also 4 more theoretical ways to make the formula flawless. The AI tried inspecting it, but it was proved wrong. Failure 1. Another month passed, and Amon presented more theoretical ways. He was able to move things so fast because of the AI's help, but all of them failed. Failure 39. 3 months passed, and Amon had made many new formulas, and also found more flaws, and tested more theories. Yet, all failed. Failure 1009. After all this research, Amon spotted a main few flaws. One of them being the fact that the scientists of King's time didn't have any foundation on this, however. Amon possessed that. The Birkins who were said to be able to move their wings. What if he uses a bit of their blood samples and experiments on it? Then things might not look so bad, but their blood, well, getting their blood is easy. Amon provided the AI with the High Priest of Birkin's blood, as she was supposed to be the strongest Birkin right now. It wasn't hard to get her blood, since she loved doing blood donations. He also provided Gonfall's blood, as he is the descendant of the rulers of Skypea. His blood should be the most qualified. Then he also provided Wiper's blood, as he was the descendant of Calgera, the strongest Shandian warrior. He didn't provide his own, since he was still very wary of the AI, though he already knew she had his blood from the entries. The AI was currently helping him with his research, but Amon's guard around her never dropped even a little. It was clear that Seraph was using him to accomplish orders given by her previous masters. Amon could guess it was something like World Salvation or Help Joy Boy. The AI can move according to what she believes. Amon's biggest assets are his future knowledge, and his biggest weakness is his lack of past knowledge. He will use the AI to fulfill that lack. Currently, he lacks power against the AI, though he knew she won't harm him, or at least not instantly. He knew he also doesn't have any ways to hurt her. Yet. Until then, he will let Sarah Baby use him, while he would be the one to get the benefits. It's like reverse or asterisk P. Currently, the AI's job was to try the formula with all the blood. Amon had expectations from the High Priest's blood, as the Moon Birken were supposedly able to move their wings, according to Seraph. 2 months later, Sha, around the upper ruins, which was mostly fixed now, Amon and Raki were swinging their swords together. Raki still had her mask on, but Amon didn't mind it. Amon was using Seraph, as they both were trying their best to create new formulas, one that would be flawless. Amon used the biological knowledge from his previous world, mixed with his more advanced knowledge from this world, while Seraph used the incredible knowledge saved inside her. Also, because of her computer simulation ability, no actual test subjects were needed. This again proved how dangerous yet useful this AI was. According to the current speed of progression, the next result should be out soon. Amon thought while sweat was falling from his head from the constant swings. I hope this works. These days, besides spending time in the hall, Amon mostly spends his time in his shrine doing small research. Or more accurately, he creates theories with the few pieces of equipment he has there. The leftover time was used to train with Raki and Gonfall on swords. He didn't have any plans to be a swordsman, but learning something never hurts. Currently, Gonfall was not here, as he used the excuse of being a Sky Knight and left them while appointing them a number of swings to finish. Amon already knew he had gone to Heaven's Gate to play chess. I'm beat. Thud. Suddenly, Raki shouted and fell on her back, though this time she wasn't careless enough to let the sword near her body. Amon smiled seeing this. He wasn't exhausted yet, so he decided to swing a bit more. After a few minutes, Amon was sitting on the ground beside Raki, while Nola the Snake was also around now, dancing around the place. Ugh. Amon heard Raki's grumpy voice and looked at her. Brother, this is cheating. Pfft. Amon almost spat his mango juice out, but he was able to control it at the last moment as he gulped. Don't say funny jokes when someone's drinking, Amon said as he lightly poked Raki's forehead. A few seconds passed as Raki shouted, This is cheating. Amon could feel she was almost about to cry, as this time he wasn't able to control his laughter. Ha ha ha. Why? What do you mean why? I've been training with swords for more than 2 years now. She went silent. Yet, you better than me. You are already around Gandalf's level. Raki said she rolled on the ground childishly. Amon looked at her with deadpan eyes, but soon he sighed as he put down his juice glass. It's all about mantra, Amon said as Raki stopped. I can focus on things more accurately with this. Learning anything is easier with my type of mantra, Amon said as he got up and picked up his sword to show practical. You see, when Gonfall swings his arms, I can sense its direction, and in some special cases, even the amount of power it generates. Seeing them like clear water, it isn't hard to copy them for myself. What? I knew it. Raki jumped up. That's cheating. I can only sense people around with my mantra. The next moment, Raki covered her face with her hands, even though it was already covered with a mask. Fuck. Raki fell on her back hopelessly. She also felt a light punch on her left arm for adding the last word. After being instructed by Amon, many of the Shandians knew observation hockey now, though most of their mantra was weak, except for a few ones like Due, who was proficient at sharpshooting. A few moments passed as Raki was looking at the blue sky above her. She never would have thought the sky was so beautiful before starting to live in Upper Yard. Raki released a sigh. At this rate, I would never be able to become strong enough to protect brother. Sigh, I will think about this later. She closed her eyes for a calm of mind. Gonfall said people should treat each other fairly, yet 98% people I know don't do that. Actually, she opened her eyes. People only look out for their selfish wishes. Even those 2% people do that. She then flipped on her left side, as she looked at the juice drinking Amon. He was also looking at the sky. His red eyes reflected the eagle flying in the sky. Even brother. He is unfair. She then stopped thinking as a smile bloomed on her face. He loves me too unfairly dash. All right. Suddenly, she was brought out of her stupor, as Amon was looking at her with a grin. You are slacking off these days. Time to help you upgrade your mantra. Asterisk. Another few months had passed, and Amon was in the Shandora Hall, stripping his clothes. Oh, Sarah baby, are you enjoying the view? Amon asked as he took off his pants at last, while looking at the mirror stuck in the wall. The AI was a little perplexed at why a child is acting like this, but she guessed things changed in the last 800 years. In reality, Amon was acting like this to trick her cumulative mind. He wasn't sure how advanced her thought process was, and it was a dangerous fact if he didn't learn it as soon as possible. How will the AI behave when he acts stupid? How will the AI behave when he acts smart? How will the AI act when he acts lovely? How will the AI act when he acts angry, crazy, and bipolar? He had to do practical experiments to learn about her limit. Was she more advanced than the human brain, or was she below it? Amon understands it now, while the AI still has no idea of Amon's scheme behind his facade. Let me warn you for the last time, this is a painful process. Though I never experienced pain, I'm not sure a child, even if it's a messed up one like you won't be able to hold against that. Amon covered his face. Ah, stop the praises. I'm getting shut the fuck up, bitch. He shouted as he removed his hands. Soon he smiled. No need to act all lovey-dovey with me, baby girl. Amon said while he did some small stretches. The AI ignored his words. Once you start, you can't stop midway as you die instantly. Also, I won't be able to help you, Seraph said. Amon also ignored all her words, as he just looked at his body. Nice. Amon released a smile, as he inspected his whole body. His small arms and legs had a little muscles in them, yet they didn't look that weird. He then looked towards the camera with a yawn. That's sweet and out of character of you. Are you planning something? Amon asked, but didn't wait for her answer. He had 97% confidence that she won't do anything stupid, the 3% being if he had underestimated her calculating powers. No need for your worries. I don't mind experiencing death-numbing pain if I can grow strong. I see. After countless tries at attempt 6890 Seraph, the AI has reached a formula that theoretically should work better than the previous one. Amon worked hard to find the flaws and create a new formula, and the AI had simply simulated it in her simulation world, and got enough proof of this as something workable. Then, after she did some corrections herself, she finally succeeded in forming a new formula of medicine after mixing the 3 races' blood. This is the last warning. Are you sure? Releasing a chuckle, Amon nodded. He knew this process would take 1 month, so he had already informed the tribesmen not to search for him this month. If by some chance someone searched for him and reached this place, they wouldn't be able to enter this place, as he had ordered the AI to not let anyone else other than him get the news of this hall, let alone let them in. After Amon's orders, Seraph made many changes. Now, only Amon can enter this place with his eye scan, blood test, and bunch of other tests. She complied with his wishes, as even she herself didn't need another person knowing this. However, if the surgery fails and he dies today, then that's a different question, Seraph thought coldly. On the other hand, Amon was still a little paranoid. He knew this test was potentially very dangerous for him, as even if the surgery succeeded, at the start when the medicine will enter his body, the AI might insert something like explosive nanochips in his blood vessels, or do something even worse. Yet he had to trust her this time, since even if she does something like that, he would have an infinite amount of time to check his body outside this hall. Amon was 1000% confident she won't do anything that will do instant damage to him or his health. Nevertheless, just being able to fly using wings isn't something that is enough to make Amon take such a risk. In reality, Amon knew after this surgery his wings won't be just restricted to letting him fly in the sky. According to his hypothesis, he will get at least a 6x power boost just from having 2 workable wings in his back. He could have waited long and had the surgery done by the best surgeon, like for example Trafalgar Law, the current holder of Op No Mi. However, even if Amon somehow makes him agree on doing the surgery, or better, if he takes the fruit for himself and does the surgery, it still won't be a success. Because here, the main point isn't the surgery nor surgeon, it's the medicine, its formula, and most importantly, the high-tech pieces of equipment laying around. This time, he has a 3% chance of dying. It's low, but it's still dangerous. Yet, Amon knew one won't get dog shit without taking risks. Anyway, we should start now? Amon asked with his hands on his hips, while his 149 centimeters naked body was flashing on the giant computer screen. I look kinda cool naked. Soon, the naked Amon entered the incubator and wore the oxygen mask while standing on the floor of the empty incubator. Soon after, like the hands of Dr. Ock from Spider-Man, many kinds of metallic tentacles came from different directions and added several thin medical pipes on Amon's blood vessels. But most of them were connected to his wings, with a big one on his neck. Soon after, the incubator's glass started to close, as Amon's view became green because of the green half-transparent glass. PHCZZZZ. Soon, water started to fill the incubator. As soon it passed Amon's head. Amon started to breathe through the oxygen pipe slowly. Soon after, his small stature started to float in the water. Foo-foo. Amon was trying to stabilize his breathing as he heard the AI say something. Project Angel 02 would now proceed. Asterisk. Fua. Fua. Raki was swinging her swords, while her head was in a completely different world. It's been around 2 weeks since brother went missing. Although he did say he will be fine and be back after a month, I'm a little worried. Soon she shook her head rapidly as she strengthened her back. Anyway, I should work hard. Taking a deep breath, she again started swinging. Nothing will happen, probably. While Raki was worried for Amon, inside the incubator, he was in a critical condition. Ayaha! Fuck! Inside the incubator, Amon was struggling to remove the pipes attached to him, but his hands were being restrained by 2 robotic tentacles. He knew this process would be painful, but he never expected it to be this painful. It's as if hot lava was being inserted in his veins. At this moment, he couldn't even think straight. Free me. Amon's eyes started to become dull. However, after a few electrical shocks from the equipment on his body, he regained consciousness. The first week was fine, as he even used to chat with the AI now and then, but soon after, things got more dangerous and painful. Now he just wakes up, screams in pain, and when tired, he goes back to sleep. The cycle continues. Seeing this, the AI was quite dissatisfied. So a failure? Even the king didn't act like this. Was there any problem with the formula? But dash. Ayayawa. Bitch, let me out. Bam. Amon started to bang the glass, but unfortunately, his punches were too weak for the knight indestructible glass. He was even releasing Conqueror's Haki, subconsciously, though the AI didn't realize it as she couldn't feel anything. Asterisk. Just like that, time passed the 1-month mark. But even as 33 days had passed, the tribe didn't know about Amon's whereabouts. They were very worried, yet they couldn't find him anywhere after searching. While something else was happening in the Shandora Hall. Inside the incubator, the water became so white that it can't even be called water anymore. While for that reason, Amon couldn't be spotted inside with the thick white water. Right now, his screams were also quiet. BRRR. But the AI could hear his muffled breathing from the recorder placed inside the incubator. She had thought of doing something like inserting thousands of blood vessel-sized nanotechs inside his body. Yet, after doing countless calculations in her head, she decided against it. He would definitely learn about those soon enough. Then if he gets out of her range and uses some kind of devil fruit to remove those from his body, then everything she did until now will be for nothing. Who knows, he might even sell her location to the enemy, the world government. Currently, though it's already been 3 more days than the schedule, she wasn't worried anymore, as she could see inside the incubator from the camera stationed inside it. She also felt he will soon wake up. Feeling that it's time to open the glasses of the incubator, she commanded it, however. Bam! Crack, crack. Before that could happen, cracks started to appear on the glass, and soon the whole glass container got broken into pieces, while the white liquid got splashed all over the place, as the hall got covered in fog. The sound of a breath little different from the 12 years old sounded out. Seraph released wind around the hall and sucked the fog away, as a familiar figure was seen standing in around the incubator. Ha. It was a chuckle, a 160 centimeters teenager, or seemingly a teenager, with wide and large white wings which were twitching now and then, was standing there while rubbing his neck. His naked body was completely wet, with white liquid dripping from his back-length black hair. Unlike his appearance, he had a childish smile on his face. Aren't things looking good? Haha. You should have controlled yourself. That's a lot of damage. Amon frowned. Initially, he wanted to destroy the AI in rage, but he knew that's just stupid. In the end, it was he who took this risk. Be grateful I haven't gone berserk at you yet, Amon said with a chuckle.